This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by Audible. Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Buffalo. This is the show where you can ask me, John Rettinger, any question you've got from the wide world of technology. Not sure what phone to buy, don't know what tablet's right for you, don't know what piece of tech to buy Dad? This is where you can ask. On this episode of Ask the Buffalo, we're going to talk about the new Nexus 7. We're going to talk about BlackBerry 10 and Windows Phone 8. We're going to discuss the new MacBook Airs and a whole bunch of technology in between. This is Ask the Buffalo. Let's get started. Josh wants to know, hey John, do you see the Nexus 7 as a good tablet to pick up versus an iPad or Kindle Fire? So we happen to have the Nexus 7 just sitting here chilling. I've had a couple days to play with it. This thing feels absolutely incredible. It's fast, it's quick, and for a $199 price point, it's really going to be a hard tablet to turn down. When you put this head to head against the current generation Kindle Fire, that's the first Kindle Fire, this guy wins every single day of the week. We are, however, on the verge of supposedly seeing the announcement of the Kindle Fire 2 at the end of July, where you should see similar spec for what's in the Nexus 7. In case you forgot, it's rocking a quad-core Tegra 3 with a 12-core GPU. Shouldn't get a lot of graphics prowess out of this thing. It's got a gig of RAM, and probably most surprisingly, it's running Android 4.1, which is the first release of Jelly Bean, the first device actually to have Jelly Bean on it. This tablet's been absolutely incredibly impressive the first couple days that we've had a chance to play with it. So I think if you're looking to compare this to the Kindle Fire, a no-brainer for this. If you want to compare it with the iPad, it's a whole different beast. Looking at it, definitely a couple $100 difference. You could buy two of these actually before you can even get an entry-level iPad. So I'd be hard-pressed to not recommend the Nexus 7. User Cody1094 asks, hey John, what do you think will be better, BlackBerry 10 or Windows Phone 8? Well, Cody, last week BlackBerry and RIM, the company that makes BlackBerries, had their earnings call. They said BlackBerry 10 is not going to be coming now until the first quarter of 2013. That is now, I believe, well over a year of delays. So while Windows Phone 8 is going to be coming this year, and probably relatively soon, or you gotta wait until 2013 for BlackBerry 10, clearly Windows Phone 8 is going to be the way to go. Plus, there's no guarantee that BlackBerry 10 is even going to be in existence, or RIM is even going to be around come this time next year. The death clock is clearly ticking for RIM, and they've got just a few months, in my mind, to turn things around. Do you care about BlackBerry 10 anymore? Are you willing to wait until 2013 for it to come out? I was excited about it if I thought it was coming out before the holidays. Now, totally different story. I think Windows Phone 8 is definitely going to be the way to go for you. User EyesOnBay360 asks, hi John, I wonder which phone is a better buy, the Galaxy S3 or the Galaxy Note? So in a previous version of Ask the Buffalo, we said that the Galaxy Note 2 is probably going to be coming at this year's IFA show in the August-September timeframe. So we're on the verge of the next generation Galaxy Note, probably going to be rocking a 5.5-inch display as we reported last week on Techno Buffalo. So you're definitely better off getting the most up-to-date specs you can right now and go for the Galaxy S3. Hopefully you'll be getting Jelly Bean at some time soon. You're going to want to pass over this generation Galaxy Note. It was my favorite phone when it first came out, but certainly other phones have come out since that have passed it not only in specs, but performance and end user experience. So moral is, you're definitely going to want to get the Galaxy S3. And speaking of things that you want, I want to take a minute to thank our friends and sponsors at Audible. Audible is the leading provider of downloadable digital audiobooks and spoken word entertainment. They have over 100,000 titles to choose from to be downloaded to your iPod or MP3 player and played back anytime, anywhere. Choose from books in every genre: science fiction, thrillers, drama, comedy, business, history, and more. I love Audible. I download books. I go to the gym and I listen to them while I'm on the treadmill, or you can download them and put them in your car. Great way to go. Go to audiblepodcast.com/techno to get your free audiobook. You can try it, see if it's right for you. I think you'll find that you really like it. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/techno. Back to the questions. So June was a crazy month for conferences. We saw Apple's WWDC, we had Google's I/O, we had Microsoft Service Event, we had a ton of little ones in between. And there's been a lot of new products that have come out. One of the highlights were the new MacBook line, new MacBook Pros rather, that came out of WWDC. And that's what this next question has to deal with. User Harrison918 asks, hey John, do you think the new MacBook Air is worth the money? I'm a huge proponent of the MacBook Air, but you have to be able to live within its limitations. If you don't do a lot lot of video editing, the MacBook Air is going to be a credible machine for it. If you're not doing things that are 3D heavy, or you don't want to play a lot of graphic intensive games, MacBook Air is going to be great. You need a computer to take to and from to college, or to and from to business, or you travel a lot, you need something that can browse the internet great, that can do word processing, that can do some pretty decent computing, that's got now current generation I/O, it's got USB 3.0 and Thunderbolt. It's a tremendous computer. So yes, I do think it's absolutely worth the money. An 11-inch MacBook Air was what I carried with me for a few years before I swapped it out for the 15-inch Retina display MacBook Pro. You won't be disappointed if you go with the MacBook Air. But if you do something that needs a lot of removable storage and you have to use an SD card, you're going to want to go for the 13-inch. The 11-inch unfortunately omits that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Ask the Buffalo. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. We'll be back here every Monday with a new episode, so be sure to submit your questions on technobuffalo.com or hit us up on Twitter at technobuffalo. I'm John Rettinger, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.